One of the biggest myths which I would love to help getting dispelled is the idea that Barack Obama is the voice and the power behind the Democratic Party, that he runs the show, that he is the one secretly making the deals from behind the curtain, that he, and to a lesser extent, Bill Clinton and not so much Hillary, but that they're the ones who are the powers. They're the ones who are pulling the strings. They're the ones, as Barack Obama one time said, when he was opining about, wouldn't it be great if he could be behind backstage with a microphone telling somebody else what to say, as though he ran the show. There's so many myths around, just like the myth that says that Michelle Obama was even in contention. Michelle Obama wants to be Oprah Winfrey, and Oprah Winfrey will soon want to be out of the country the day they ever lower the boom on her. By the way, they own her. They own her. Think about the dirt they've got on Oprah Winfrey. That's why she's an apparatchik. But I digress. Don't let me go there. Don't let me get away from this story, because I want to. And you know how I get. But Barack Obama is in charge of nothing. He is a dutiful servant of the party, along with Bill Clinton, and he is a soldier. He was recruited from obscurity, told this is what you're going to do, play with us, and we will ensure that you are forever taken care of. Just like all of these mythical, magical Silicon Valley people, the Mark Zuckerbergs and others, pulled and plucked out of obscurity, like Bill Gates, and guess what? You're going to be the face of this. But actually, it's In-Q-Tel and DARPA that's actually running the research, but you're going to take the credit for this because the government has to keep its hands off of this. So like that came Barack Obama. So now, the big macher, the big shots, the big investors, the big donors, the big money people, the Wall Streeters and the investment and the hedge funders and the Silicon Valley people, they're picking up the phone. They're calling Barack Obama and they say, "Hey, do something about Joe. Get him to step down because he's basically barricaded himself in the White House." And Barack has to say, "Look, I don't know how to break this to you, but I'm not in charge of anything. I mean, I'm not. What do you mean you're not in charge? I'm not in charge of anything. I never was in charge of anything. You're not in charge of anything? Nope, not me. I never was in charge of anything. Never. I just did what they said. I was very good at what I did. I was very good. I followed your Obamacare nonsense, which was written by the insurance industry. I just did whatever you had to do. I put my foot down a couple of times, especially after I got slapped around by Bibi. I didn't appreciate that. I said no to Syria. He did, luckily and thankfully, stand up to a lot of these war ghouls. But aside from that, he really, honest to God, is in charge of nothing. And that's something very difficult for people to understand. It's very difficult for people to grasp and to understand that Barack Obama is in charge of nothing. Nothing. And it kills people to understand that. It really does. It kills people to understand it and to grasp it. It kills people because they have these stories that they just come up with. And what also is, this is the end of the Democratic Party. So this is the end of the myth of Obama, the myth of Clinton, and the myth of the Democratic Party. And the best part is, nobody's in charge. There was a time in this country when you had party heavyweights. And the Republicans you had, remember, Reagan and others, and Jim Baker, and even the days of Bob Dole, and later on with the Democrats with Tip O'Neill and others, some very, very serious people. LBJ probably ran the party tighter than, I mean, this guy, it was like the Stalin Kremlin in his days. Those days are over with. And the reason why is simply this, as I've been telling you. The DNC is not really about democratic politics or progressive or liberal anything. It is about a group of people who are, in essence, the recipients of a virus that came in, a kind of a shadow government virus that came in and took over the DNC and infiltrated it and changed the wiring of the DNA to allow this weird, crazy, lunatic, lefty, trans and, critical race theory and DEI and all of this lunacy. And he found out that nobody really was behind it. Nobody was for this. How did, I thought, and people are walking around saying, I thought I thought you okayed this. I didn't okay this. Biden, this was your idea, right? No. The whole trans thing with the, trans athletes and no. Well, whose idea was that? I thought it was yours. So two things happen, which is wonderful. One is the complete destruction and the obliteration of this myth of the power of the Obamas, the power of Barack Obama, the influence. And second of all is the organizational structure of the DNC. And by the way, while we're on it, and this will overlap with other commentaries, this is also the end of the mainstream legacy media, who for the longest time actively tried to cover up Joe's dementia and how you needed anybody to clarify that is shame on you. If you couldn't tell right away that this guy was out of his tree, there's no hope for you. But the bottom line is simply this: 2024 will be the re-election of Donald Trump, but it will also be the complete collapse and implosion and self-destruction and the controlled demolition of this horrible bastion of, and you can call it whatever you want, socialism, nihilism, radical left, whatever. But whatever this ghoulish, horrible process is, it's over. Once and for all, it's over. And it'll be 10, 15 years before they can rekindle this, because everybody in every race, in every state, down ballot, up ballot, whatever, whenever anybody makes a claim, the Republicans will respond and the citizens will respond with, oh yeah? Just like Joe wasn't brain dead, right? That lie? You're the same people who said Joe was okay, sharp as a tack. You're the same people? You mean this is different, right? You're the same ones who lied to us. They will never shake this. Because this, for some particular reason, has absolutely stuck. Americans and Democrats in particular are absolutely furious, and they're never going to forget this.